Welcome back, Nick Lenz's Comic Corner, Classics Last Night Classics, episode number 398, and Doubleshot number 321. Okay? Two Batman trades. First up, it's Batman and Robin Adventures, Volume 1, collecting the first 10 issues. Written by Paul Dini and Ty Templeton, with Rick Burchett on the artwork. Yeah, he's the... Well, actually, he is one of a few artists. Ty Templeton also was the artist in some of these issues as well, along with Tim Harkins and Brandon Crush. This is just basically an adaptation of when the show of the Batman animated series for its second season was simply known as Batman and Robin. Yeah. And no, the comic has nothing to do with the comics by Grant Morrison in 2009. Nothing to do with that. This is just an adaptation of the one from the TV show. I mean, yeah, over the course of these 10 issues, basically, the Batman and Robin face off against Two-Face, Harley Quinn, Poison Ivy, Riddler, Joker, I think even the Penguin as well. Let's see. Unlike with the Batman Avengers comic book, the first one, this one has no original villains. Or I should say, no villains who actually were not featured in the show, but were comic villains, either one. Like, just various sorts of adventures that they happen to go on. Excuse me. It also features Batgirl as well, which is nice. Now, unlike the first one, which is actually not technically canon, though I do kind of count the issues that feature villains that were not featured in the show. I count those issues as canon. These I kind of count as canon because nothing really contradicts what happens in the show, which is nice. All 10 issues are really good, and I give this a 9 out of 10. Next up is the final trade for this series, Batman Arkham Knight, Volume 3, collecting the last 4 issues of the Arkham Knight comic book, which is issues 9 through 12, the Arkham Knight Annual, along with the Arkham Knight Robin one-shot, and Batgirl and Harley Quinn, number 1. Yeah, the last 4 issues, simply put, just wrap up pretty much the whole series. Now, I heard originally the comic was supposed to be a 5-issue in the series, which was expanded to a 12-issue ongoing series, because the sales actually were really good. I actually bought the first few issues of this. I really enjoyed this comic. Here's kind of the thing. Now, there is one major death in here, and that's the death of Bane, which surprisingly is never referenced in the game. They say that he was let go. I'm like, okay, Now, I get the fact these issues would come out after the game was released, and the comic itself is supposed to be set before the game. So, either one, Pierre de Tomasi was contradicting the game, or maybe because the issues themselves are actually written prior to the game's release, but weren't released until after the game came out. But nothing really wrong with the issues themselves. And of course, the Robin, the annual was simply just, and of course, the Robin one-shot. The only reason why those two were released, well, in the case of the Robin one, because when this series started, basically, it was the 75th anniversary of Robin, so that's the reason why Robin got one. The Batgirl and Harley Quinn one-shot, that was released after the series already ended. It was the last thing officially associated with the Arkham Knight comic book, and it's just simply just an early adventure of Batgirl, and basically the early months of Harley Quinn when she was around before she showed up in the game. Also, there's one issue here that kind of leads into the Harley Quinn mission, where the Penguin sends Harley Quinn to Bloodhaven to break up Poison Ivy. So basically, you have one comic that leads into that. So this series is just really good. I highly recommend getting all 3 trades, plus the Arkham Knight Genesis trade as well. It's 4 trades, and it's the entire thing related to the Arkham Knight video game. Now, I myself have never played the video game, because 1, I don't own a PS4, and 2, I don't own the game. But from what I've seen from it, it looks really damn good. It's got a great story. It looks like it has great gameplay thanks to a walkthrough I saw through by Tetra Ninja. Yeah, I actually watched his entire walkthrough when it was coming out. Like, I kept checking like every hour, like when it was next, because I was so excited to see this. But in here, aside from the death of Bane, there's no more new villains added to the Arkhamverse. Not necessarily. They did add, well, Clayface, who actually was not in the game. There's also stuff related to Ra's al Ghul in here as well, some minor stuff. And of course, the Forest is in here. Also plant the seeds for the partnership of the Scarecrow and the Arkham Knight, aka Jason Todd, which Rocksteady did a terrible job of hiding the fact that Jason Todd was in fact Arkham Knight. Now, it was supposed to be an original villain, but people guessed it right away that it was Jason frickin' Todd. Now, I honestly do not know why Rocksteady lied about it. Yeah, it was really stupid on their part, but that was the only really big criticism of Arkham Knight, aside from the bugs and glitches that the PC port got, and the terrible treatment that got. But story-wise, the Arkham Knight was the biggest criticism of the game, from what I've heard. I do kind of agree with it, basically. Like now, and it's kind of the same thing with J. James did with Benedict Cumberbatch when he was playing Khan. People predicted he was playing Khan. They did the same thing with Spectre when they had that one guy who played Blofeld. Everybody knew he was going to be Blofeld. Excuse me. Despite the fact the studio kept saying, "Oh no, he's not playing Blofeld. He's playing Oppenheimer. No, he's playing Blofeld." Everybody predicted. It's one of the very few times in the past few years where the fans actually, the viewers predicted, knew who these people were playing, and they were proven to be correct, and the studios were made to be complete fools. This has happened 3 times, like I said. It happened with Oppenheimer in Spectre. It happened with Benedict Cumberbatch's Khan in Star Trek Into Darkness, and it happened with the Arkham Knight video game, where the studio says, no, it's not Jason Todd, even though it really was. He was even known in the game that it was Jason Todd who was the Arkham Knight, which it was completely predictable that it really was him. Yep. But despite that, the comic is really, really good. I give this a 9 out of 10. It's amazing. Alright, that's it for this episode. Next episode is episode 399 and Doubleshot 322, and then the episode after that is going to be the 400th episode. And I have a really big trade to review for that particular episode, okay? But until then, I will see you there in those two episodes, okay? Bye.